Hey there friends, today it's going to be the last installment of the Veggie Tray meal. I wanted to do one more because I could do one more meal, but it's taking a little bit longer to do that because I have other things that I've been trying to make while the food is still fresh and whatnot. So I'm just going to have to combine it in one, but so it's going to be actually both of the meals combined into one. So what it's going to be, I'm going to try to do like a cheddar broccoli potato soup type thing. So we'll go ahead and start off. Let me go ahead and get the comfy and oil in here, and let me turn, I should probably turn on the oven too, or not the oven, the stove first as well. So let me go ahead and do that, and I will get right back to you. Here we are with the confit. I'm going to go ahead and mash it. Yes, I am using a fork in my ceramic. Do as I say, not as I do. I don't know. I'm trying really hard not to scrape it, which is an interesting kind of thing to do when you're trying to do this through the camera. But we're going to go ahead and mash this up a little bit. My kids kind of prefer me to do garlic this way. I know a lot of people, they do minced garlic or jarlic or whatever you want to call it. Some people do it fresh as well. My kids, I do have ARFID children, so this seems to be a tolerable way that we can not only get a little bit of flavor in there, well actually yeah, to get a little bit of flavor, extra flavor in there that normally I wouldn't be able to do it this way. So as soon as this gets all roasty, I will come back and go ahead and toss the carrots and celery that I have already chopped in there. And oh yeah, we'll do that first, and then we'll go from there. Here we are, my friends. So we are back, and it's nice and sizzly. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the carrots and celery, and we're going to go ahead and kind of work those through. Make sure it's kind of more of a medium lowish, because I don't want to burn it, because this is a cast. Even though it's an enamel cast, it's still a cast. And I have a glass, one of those troublesome glass stoves. So we'll stir that up. And we want to make sure that I like to make sure that the carrots and the celery are nice and tender. I think we said that in my last video, and I could be wrong. I recorded that last week, so yeah, we're just trying to truck along here. So once this starts getting a little bit tender, I'll go ahead and show me adding the potatoes. I think this is very similar to the recipe I was using last time, but I don't think it was a cream-based recipe in this, well, a milk-based recipe, and this will have a milk slash cream or whatever you want to use in it as well. So yeah, we'll go ahead and go from there. So I'll see you in a few seconds. Here we go, my friends. I think they're nice and tender enough, and if not, they're close enough, because once we get all the potatoes, I got a hold of some really good big sized potatoes. And I think I might have overdid it a hair, but I think in the long run it's worth it. It will be, at least. I like a nice hearty soup. So go ahead and cook those down, and I will be right back. Here we are, my friends. The edges of the potatoes have gotten a little translucent. I'm getting a little close there. I'm hoping you're able to hear me. So it got a little translucent, so I'm going to go ahead and add some water. Okay, I did add a deal more water. What I'm going to do, there is a method to my madness, I promise. It's going to be something kind of unique. Almost kind of one of those like kitchen sink soups. I'm just kind of throwing stuff all together again. Primarily because I'm doing what I do. So I'm going to go ahead and let these cook down before we throw some seasonings on there, so that way the potatoes don't eat, like soak up all the seasonings right away. So I did raise the heat a little bit, as you can see. So yeah, so I will see you in a few minutes while this is all cooking up and getting nice and soft and getting to that hearty soup feel, fall soup feel. So see you in a minute. Here we are, my friends, nice and boily. Excuse the coughing. Ooh, oh my. I sampled a chunk of potato, and apparently it's kicking back. Oh no! Okay, here we go. We're getting a little fuzzy. Here we go. I'm using my garlic powder that I love so much. You don't actually need nearly as much. Ooh, that's gonna be a really robust soup. So the way I make this, I will show you in another video, but I love it. You don't need near as much as you would if you get that $1 garlic powder. Don't get me wrong. If that's all you got, that's all you got. There's nothing wrong with it. I like doing it this way. It does reduce a little bit of waste. And it does have a really robust flavor. So if you have the opportunity to be able to and the time to be able to make it, is it a worthy thing? Absolutely. But you do you measure by your heart, whatever you got to do. I mean, on my backup days here, let's see if I can find it, if I can do this without steaming you guys out. Even on my backup days when I'm out of my garlic powder because I don't pay attention to having it as much as I'd like to, I do have this. So I do buy regular stuff. It's just this homemade stuff does taste, it has such a robust flavor. I really enjoy it a lot. So we're going to go ahead and toss directly in. And then on top of that, we're going to put some bouillon. Let's see, I don't want to put as much in there as I did the garlic powder because that's an excessive amount. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to let that simmer a bit, just a little bit, and then once those flavors mingle together really nicely, we'll go from there, and I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Like I said, this is more of a kitchen sink soup than it is a plan, as I had hoped it would be. So we're going to go with it and fly by the seat of our pants and see how we do. So I'll see you in a few seconds. Here we are, nice and simmery and seasoned. I haven't sampled it, so obviously you're going to season it to taste. Oh, I didn't show you the picture. I'm using the gear shaped pasta. This stuff is awesome. But I thought fun shapes would go. Anytime I make my other soups, I usually use like a Wacky Mac. So the gears kind of resemble the Wacky Mac. And I haven't seen Wacky Mac in a long time. So go ahead and let that do its thing and ruminate and absorb some of that lovely liquid, that nice broth there. We're going to do that because when we add the milk, I don't want to spill it over, and so, but also, you know, it's got to absorb, the pasta's got to absorb that flavor. So as soon as that's ready to go, we'll go from there. All right, here we go. So pasta's nice and tender. I'm gonna slowly add the cheese and see what happens. I have a kind of an accidental aged cheddar, and really what happened was that it sat in my refrigerator for a while, and it's nice and crumbly now. So still, I mean, there wasn't any mold, so, and it smelled like cheese, so it should still be good. So stew that up. I saw somebody do it where you use like the fresh cheese, or, well, this is aged cheese, but where you use cheese and you mix it in and kind of make it cheesy. So we're gonna keep going. And hopefully it doesn't sink to the bottom and it just kind of incorporates in. So I'm gonna go ahead and stir that in, and when I figure out which way it's gonna go, either sinking to the bottom or cheesing up the broth, I will come back and show you. Alright, and we're back. I think it's not going to incorporate the way I had envisioned, which is totally okay, because there'll be little cheese surprises in each bite, and I'm cool with that, instead of the whole broth being cool, you know. So then I'm going to add some evaporated milk. This is almost a full can, because we go through a lot of evaporated milk. I'm just going to add that whole thing in there. And then I'll turn the heat off. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and bowl this up. I'll stir it first. If this ever empties, I must have gotten the magic can. Okay, here we go. Here we are. There we go. We got some nice creamy soup that resembles kind of a potato soup. Well, at least what we consider potato soup, not a potato chowder. With a little bit of cheese floating around in it. Yeah, actually it looks pretty good. So I'll go ahead and, like I said, I'll plate it up, and really it's going to be a bowl, so it'll bowl it up, and I'll show you then. Here we are. So I went ahead and bowled that up. This is for my medalist, and I think I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit of extra cheese on top, because that sounds really good too. I added a little bit of pepper and salt. I do salt my food a little separately. I do have a child sensitive to salts, so everybody gets kind of an individualized experience. Anyway, I think it's pretty good. Hold on, let me get something to sample it. Here we are. Actually, it's a very nice flavor. And it is a little bit mild, which I'm not opposed to. I think, you know, season how you like it. I keep it very basic. Like I said, I have ARFID kids, but I'm very lucky because they still eat veggies, and they do try a variety of foods, but I do have to be a little more creative when it comes to cooking sometimes, so, which is okay. Anyway, this is pretty good. It looks pretty good. I think they'll really enjoy it. Anybody out there who's watching and maybe knows what I did wrong, maybe I used the wrong cheese or just didn't stir it long enough or whatever, I am more than happy to get a little bit of advice there. I would love it. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you're happy. I hope you're healthy, and I hope you have a great, I already said you have a great day. I hope you're happy and healthy, and I'll see you next time.